Hello everyone and welcome to Enter the Clone Wars. This is X-Wing Wave 3. There's loads to go through here, so I'm not actually going to break this down point by point. I'm going to try and cover some big general thoughts of it, and then I'll probably try and make some more videos looking at the Republic and the Separatist factions separately. Separatists, and we'll probably not really touch off the two other expansions. But we'll go through the entire article now, and just it's going to be pretty brief. I don't want to linger on too long. One, because I'm slow and this video's coming out late, and two, there is a lot in there, and I just want to try and get the feel of it across rather than breaking down specifics right now. But it is an introduction to the prequel factions. So we have the Separatists. The first thing I want to talk about, though, is actually these guys over here. So the Squadron Packs. There's just a lot of interesting stuff there. The fact that they're getting Squadron Packs rather than a new starter. So you're not buying a combination of 2 Vultures and 1 Jedi Starfighter. You're buying a Jedi Starfighter and 2 other ships. I forgot what they're called now. And Grievous's ship and 2. So you get a cheap entry into a faction still. It'd be interesting to see if they come with a damage deck as well. That would be a nice touch by FFG, but it doesn't look like any of them are in the spread. But we'll go through what is. So looking firstly at the Separatist faction, we get General Grievous's fighter. So I know you're all looking forward to me butchering this one. The Belbulba. No, Belbulab. Yeah, the Belbulab. I don't know where I put the U from. Ulba. The Belbulba. Belbulba. Belbulab. Yeah. Belbulab. I'm sticking with that one. Belbulab. 22 Starfighter. Awesome, Chris. That's General Grievous's ship, and it comes with... I'm sorry, I just butchered that completely. So... I'm so bad at this. It's hilarious. And then some Vulture droids. You get 2, and they come in a pretty funky paint scheme. 3 ships in the pack, and when you look at it, coming in at $40 US, so probably between 50 and 60 Canadian for me. And there's a decent amount in here. Loads of cards. The ones I'm most excited for would be obviously the Vulture droids themselves, and then it looks like there's a new type of upgrade. It talks about Kraken, and it's got a new symbol and it's a solitary thing, and I think they call it a tactical relay in the article. But during the end phase, you may choose up to 3 friendly ships at range 0 to 3. If you do, each of those ships does not remove a calculate token, and it gives you a calculate action. So your Vulture droids can start stacking up calculate tokens. Other things in the spread would be these gas cloudy ion. Yeah. So one of my friends was saying that they hope it's an ion cloud, but it looks more like a gas nebula type thing. So I'll go gas cloud. Pretty similar to the look in Armada, maybe, I think. And that's what Paul was saying anyway. Lots of calculate tokens to be expected. Some new red tokens. Is that in the Sith Infiltrator pack? Yeah, these new red tokens in the Sith Infiltrator pack, just above the cannon, seemed interesting. You also get a Count Dooku. It was pretty cool. It looks like it's looks like a large base ship to me. I don't know. Maybe medium or large. And there's the baby. So with some seamless editing skills, obviously you guys won't even notice that I had to cut. The baby woke up and it's now like 2 days later. But we're back in. And yeah, the Sith Infiltrator looks like a large base ship to me. I think if you look at the spacing on the nubs and the base, it looks like it's probably going to be large rather than medium. And the size of a dial and stuff as well. And then we do have Darth Maul. So let's get into it. We have Initiative 5 for Darth Maul, the Sith Assassin. It has the focus action, target lock, a red barrel roll, stat line of a front arc 3 dice attack, 1 agility, 6 hull, 4 shields, and Maul's got 3 force points. And then his ability, after you perform an attack, you may spend 2 force points, or force charges, to perform a bonus primary attack against a different target. If your attack missed, you may perform that bonus attack against the same target instead. So it's better than old Gunner. I've heard people saying it's like Gunner built in, but if you hit, you can still shoot somebody else. If you miss, you can double tap on the same target, but you don't have to. You can still like use him to strip out tokens. If you fly Maul and a bunch of the PS1, Initiative 1, don't you dare wake up. I'm going to get this video done today. So if you're flying a lot of vulture droids, you can use Maul to like strip tokens off people and then get stuck into them. Speaking of a vulture droid, I can't remember exactly what. So, speaking of a vulture droid, I can't remember exactly what we covered. I'm not going to watch the entirety of the start of the video. I don't even think I covered the start line, so I'm going to just go off it from the spread here. So it is a 2 attack front arc, 2 agility, 3 hull. So 1 agility less than a TIE fighter. Probably takes... Maybe kill it in 2 shots rather than 3. You know, it's comparable. It's not terribly worse, especially once you get them in numbers. And when you look at their ability of the network optimization, I think it was, where they can spend the calculate tokens from other vultures within range 1. If you strip all of the tokens off your droids, it's really good, don't get me wrong, but obviously people are saying it's got like infinite calculates. It's like it will run out pretty quickly, I think, but it's a cool ability, especially if we stick to this like 2 or 3 ship obsession that people seem to have at the moment. And I wanted to mention the Buzz Droid token that's in here. It looks pretty cool. The dial on these guys is fairly interesting. 1 hertz, a 1k, 2 Talon rolls, 2 hertz are green, 2 hertz are blue, the 2 banks are white, and the 2 straight is blue. It's pretty. I love the weirdness of they turn better than they bank. They don't really have any like weight to them. They do like just float around. They want to turn really sharp, and it does kind of lend itself to that boxy, like robotic flying, similar to how people fly Defenders, kind of maybe. So I'm pretty excited for these on the table. The straights are blue up to a 4. They have the 5, but that's white. The 3 banks are actually red, and the 3 herds are white. The grappling thing seems really interesting. I'm not going to like read it out verbatim, but I've kind of zoomed in a little bit, and you can see most of it. Basically, they ignore rocks and they can land on them, and then if you dial in any move that isn't a 2 straight, you stay on the rock. If you dialed in a turn or a bank, you can actually rotate by 90 degrees on the rock. And because you ignore them, you can still shoot while you're on them. So that's pretty funky. Energy Shell Charges was the Separatist, and you require calculate. This was pretty fun. It becomes a 3 dice attack at range 2 to 3, and it is a calculate tokens required. You spend a charge, and then you can spend a calculate token to convert a eyeball to a crit, and it's got a built-in reload as well, so pretty good. I don't know that I'd be loading up the Initiative 1 guys with these, but still pretty cool. Then we get to the Guardians of the Republic Squadron Pack. So this one has got much easier names to pronounce because it's a V19 and a Delta 7. There we go, easy. Okay, the Delta 7, a Jedi Starfighter, is the Ether Sprite, and the V19 Torrents. So this is flipped around, whereas in you were getting two of the vultures, and the individual ship in the Separatist pack was the one that you couldn't get anywhere else. The V19s are exclusive to this box at the moment, and you're getting two of them. So I'll probably only pick up one of these. Again, you get the gas cloudy things. You get what's different tokens, and I really like the design work on these dials. I think they look really good, to be honest. I'm pretty impressed. We have Obi-Wan Kenobi up here. I can't read what his ability is, but it's cool because it's Obi-Wan. And we've had brilliant evasion. People have been looking at this one for a while. This has to be like a 0-point card or a 1-point card, because yeah. But while you defend, if you are not in the attacker's bullseye arc, you may spend 1 force charge to change 2 of your eyeball results to evade results. Sounds good, but it really isn't massively awesome. They all have 3 agility, so you can get 2 focuses, and it's got some level of efficiency, but I don't know. This is going to be after some. For this to be good, you'd have to be running it on multiple generics, and it has to be cheap enough and not competing with a better talent. So it has to be cheaper than heightened reflexes. You just spam a lot of generics, and they all shoot at initiative 7. It is probably better. Like, killing a ship is probably better than getting to convert an extra eyeball. So I'm not massively impressed with this card. The art, look how shiny and new this is. I think I said on the podcast, I really like that it's the same paint scheme but like new and shiny, and it really is pretty cool. Same dial, nothing new here. These weird red tokens are in there again. The one I find interesting is we have a Chancellor Palpatine and a Darth Sidious. So I'm pretty sure these are going to be a double-sided of the same card, because I don't know why you would include this card in. I could see it if it's not double-sided. Darth Sidious should have been in the Separatist pack, but we'll see. Expert handling, we know already. Some torpedoes, funky stuff. The sinker, the Wolfpack veteran. Okay, so stat lines are the same. While a friendly ship at range 1 to 2 in your front or rear arc performs a primary. No, that's wrong. While a friendly ship in range 1 to 2 in your side arcs performs a primary attack, it may re-roll 1 attack die. So plonk him in the middle, flying formation. Everyone will love it. Everyone likes formation flying anyway. Then we have Anakin Skywalker in his nice cool yellow, his sexy yellow Aether Sprite. And yeah, it's pretty good. I like the new model. The Delta 7B looks pretty good. Gives you an extra attack die, -1 agility, and +2 shields. So it basically becomes 3 hull, 3 agility, 3 hull, 3 shields, 2 agility with 3 dice primary. So definitely one I'd consider on like the generics and just like less arc dodgy. But the one I really like that is a double slot, so it takes up a config, so you can't have this and the B7. It was 7B, I can't remember. Was it B7? I'm so bad at this. 7B. Is the calibrated laser targeting. While you perform a primary attack, if a defender is in your bullseye arc, add 1 focus result. It takes up the config and the mod, so it can't be that expensive. It's a bullseye arc ability, which if we take what we know from like the current stuff like Crackshot, Predator, all of that's relatively cheap. And then taking up 2 good slots and only adding in the focus result, I feel like it's got to be relatively cheap, but it is adding in a focus result to people who have force tokens. So you're going to get to always convert that unless you've wasted your force on something else. Plastic dials. I really like the cardboard ones, as I said. This is probably the first faction where I've not been as bothered about picking them up. Then we come on, like I say, this is supposed to be a quick overview, but we get on to the rest of the wave. So the Scum get the reprinted Z95. I'm lamenting the fact I'm going to buy this pack because I kept 4 of the old Zeds, and this one, the paint scheme's too nice for me to not pick it up. And yeah, I'm a little bit sad because it looks like, if you believe the spread, that it doesn't come with anything new other than the model. So I'm really hoping there's an extra 4 pilots in here, or at least an extra 2. I think the TIE Fighter packs and stuff, where we were pilot heavy, came with 6 pilots. So I'd really like to see that in this pack. It was 2 new Z pilots that they're just not showing us yet. And then the same with the Striker. I'm not surprised to see this one getting redone, especially with like Sloan being so prevalent. This is probably a neat expansion to pick up, but again, nothing new shown in there. It does bring the Cononets into 2.0. It brings the Cononets into a 2nd edition format. Whether people take them over Protons, I don't know. And yeah, anything else? Not really. Nothing new in there that we can see. But that's about it, I suppose. Like I say, thanks for watching, everyone. Sorry the video's so late. It has been a bit of a trying time. I'm working hard to come up with some kind of routine that lets me keep making these. So thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure you like the video, leave some comments, let me know what your thoughts are on these waves, and subscribe to the channel if you like the content. I'm going to try and get the production up and running again, and it's been awesome that you guys have all stuck with me, so thank you, and we'll see you on the next one.